Hey guys, welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So the last episode of the baby bullet, we added these lugs on here, and you know, some guys commented it's really a stylistic point. You know, I'm striving to make it look close to the original, and the original has these little lugs on it here. Anyway, we did that in the last episode. Check that out if you want to catch up on the series. And then what we're going to do now, we have this tube here, nice Canon tube, right? Which is going to be this section right here. So that's what we're going to work on next. So we'll get a little bit of lathe work and then a little bit of mill work on this to create this this little keyway that's in here. So anyway, let's go over to the lathe and see if I remember how to center something up in a four job. All right. Okie doke. Got a piece of tube here. We gotta stick it out enough so that we can turn it, bore it, and then part it off. So I'm gonna leave a little extra hanging out. I think I'm gonna. Normally I put the indicator like this, but let's put it this way just for maybe we can see it a little bit better on the camera. Like that. Let's try that. Let's try that. Okay. Okay, pretty good. Some little bumps in it. Let's make sure everything's tight. Alright, everything's pretty good. Okay, that was pretty good. Hey, I wish I could have done it that quick down at Stan's. Alright, let me get the tools set up here. Okay, so we're kind of set up here. We got a CNMG 432. I don't remember what brand of insert this is, not sure. So we're going to use that to face this, and then we're going to turn this to diameter. And then I got a boring tool. We're going to bore in there down to about here. So let's go ahead and face that little monkey. Give me a little more spindle speed here. Pretty good. Cleaned up. Alright, I zeroed the DRO, and now I'm going to touch off here. Oop, gently. Should be 1.75. Change this. And then we're going to take a cut. Oop. Gotta change the feed direction. I can't change my feed direction on the fly, so on the Adams Monarch, I believe he can change the feed direction on the fly, which is really kind of a nice feature. You don't have to stop the spindle. Finish feels good. Now you see that, you know, with negative inserts, there's a fair amount of tool pressure, so sometimes when you drag it back across, it'll leave a little line. So just beware of that. It doesn't matter at this point because this is just roughing, but sometimes it does matter. And this insert's got some wear on it, so 1" 7/30. I'm gonna get a. Do I have a mic over here? I have to get a 1 to 2 mic over here. .6. What am I going to? I'm going to 5. Excuse me, 1" 5/35. Get a little closer. Let's see here. I think I'll start boring it after this pass here. You know, I want some mass there while I'm boring. I don't want it to be too thin. Okay. Yep, so I'm still oversized at this point, and what I want to do is bring the other, the bore dimension in closer before I do the finish on that. So let me pull the boring bar out. Alright, so I got the boring bar here. Let's take a pass and see how it behaves. Oh, that's not a good sign. Well, let's give it a... Alright, well, it looks like it's okay. I'm feeding pretty hard here, so... Take a little pass, let's go for it. See if it behaves itself. With a high feed rate, you put some pressure on the tool, a lot of times it'll quiet it down. Seems to be okay. It's okay. I mean, it's not a great finish in there, but I'm not super worried about it at this point until we get a little bit larger here. So let me do a little more boring there, and we'll come back in a minute here. Let's see what we got here. It's kind of warm right now, but I still got a ways to go, so. And a half, maybe. about 90 and a half, 09 and a half. Okay, finish is pretty good. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit because I only got about two or three more passes left, and so yeah, then I'll come back and I'll turn the OD the rest of the way too. So I'm pretty close on the OD. I'll sneak the ID out a little bit, and then we'll finish her up. And oh, there's an angle, right? We got to put the angle on it too. So we'll get to that in a minute. $112. Okay, sneaking up on it. We're going to 1 inch 125 is what our number is. We're at 1 inch 112 now, so about another 13 thousandths to go. Okay. All right. Okay, it's just lukewarm right now. Bore feels pretty good, smooth finish. It's not a mirror finish, nothing great like that. We'll probably leave a thou or a half a thou or something like that, and we'll go in with a ball hone and kind of polish that up a little bit after it's welded probably too. So hopefully it doesn't distort much when we weld it. So okay, almost there. Let's keep going. All right, we're finished pass on the OD here. A little bit of oily oil. So that's the same insert. It's a steel finishing insert. CCMT, I think. I have to look. Pretty good. Alright, do that one under. Yeah, 3/4 under. Okay, fine. Now I'm gonna let it cool off. I'll finish the bore. I got about 6 thousandths on the bore. Finish that. Do the angle, and then we're going to blend that angle into this diameter here. That ought to be interesting. All right, that's theoretically the finish pass. Yeah, okay. Okay, finish is good. I'm happy with that. Let's give it a little checkerino. Alright, that's about right where I wanted it. I'm about a half under. See if I can get that up there for you guys. about a half under. Okay, which I can take out and improve the finish. I mean, the finish is good. It's totally acceptable, but you know, for moving parts, you want, you know, nice slick finishes if you can have them. So I got about a half thousandths to hit with the ball hone, and I'll do that after I cut the keyway and weld it down to the base. So okay, so let's put a 6-degree angle on this now, and then we're going to blend it into this diameter, and then we're going to lop this off and go over to the mill. All right, crack that loose first, and then I always keep the compound lock on, that way I don't inadvertently bump the hand wheel. Just a kind of a habit of mine, but depends on the lathe. Alright, so what's our angles? 6 degrees, single angle, okay. So I'm just going to set, you know, this isn't a precision angle, I'm just going to set it on the scale here on the lathe, which should be fine for what we're doing on this vise. Pardon my head there. Lock that down. And then, okay, once I get that locked down, I'll lock the tool post down in a sec here. But what I want to do is I want to run this into an area that, you know, a lot of compounds are stiff at the extremes, or maybe not even at the extremes. So there's some, I call them tasty spots, right? Okay, that one feels pretty good right there. All right, and this is just kind of eyeball square with the axes. Oop. That's one problem is sometimes that moves. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to use this one. All right. So two things. We're doing an angle, right? But you can't measure the angle where it exits here. You can't measure it at the small end of the cone, right? Where you can measure it is at the large end of the cone, which is where it intersects the cylinder. So what we want to do is we want to put a little witness mark on the on that diameter, so we can see when that that angle blends into that the large end of the cone, right, so to speak. So I happen to know, because I put it on the drawing, that it's about a ½ inch, or it is a ½ inch in from the end. So I'm going to put a little blue mark there, and then I'm going to put a bigger blue mark. Okay, you guys will see here in a sec. And then I'll come up and I'll touch this tool here at the end. Okay, I'm going to zero the DRO. Alright, come out. I'm going to come in my prescribed ½ inch. Like that. Okay. Then I'm just going to scratch the blue. Hopefully. I don't want to put a deep mark in here, I just want something I can see. Like that. Okay. So then I'll come back here, and then I can whittle away at this. You know what? I'm going to bring you guys in closer, so you can see that action. Okay. All right. Here we go. We'll take a little pass just to see where we end up. Ooh. Yeah. Down, Mr. Wizard. That was quite a bit. Now I'll advance the X a little bit. I can cut on the backstroke too. Come in a little bit, come back, and you can see that band. Okay, so I'm touching the blue now. I came in about 3/1000ths. So it's advancing along the blue there. See how it pushed the blue along? Now I'm going to move the camera one more time and see if we can get a really killer shot of this deal here. On the door. Alright, I think that one's going to do it. Perfect. Pretty good. Now I'm going to come out here and just get the heck out of there. Alright, and now we'll blend that so that it looks more like the Wilton part. Alright, so there's our 6th degree, and there's our little baby bullet 6th degree there. We're looking right here. You know, and when I said we were going to blend that into that, I'm looking at this, and the actual transition there it's actually pretty harsh, so I don't think I'm going to monkey with that. I think I'm just going to sand this a little bit and smooth it a little and then lop it off. We want this corner to stay sharp. We don't want to put a chamfer on that because a little cap goes on there, and we don't want to have a seam that looks like a weld prep. We want a nice clean sharp line there, so we're going to leave that alone. We will chamfer the internal just a whisker, and then lop this thing off to length. And then we got a little bit of mill work with our keyway and our cross holes. So let's do a little sanding here, just to kind of smooth things out. About all I'm going to do, I think. Oh, I'm going to knock that edge off with the chamfer tool. Okay, last thing is to lop this little sucker off. So what I want to do is I want to calibrate my parting tool here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the scale against there, and you see I'm sliding across and it's hitting the insert. Well, I'm just going to bop it in until it just skates by there without catching anything, like that. Okay, then I'll zero DRO, so that edge is calibrated against there pretty closely. 3" 362 is my number. Come down here. 3-inch, oops, 3, what did I say? 3.362. Right there. Safety spin, make sure I'm not going to clobber anything there. Typically I go a couple thou long just for good measure. You can always take some off, right? It's hard to put it back. Alright, so I think we're ready to go here. Punch it, right? Let's go. That'll work. A little oil. This is my ISCAR parting insert here. Alright, you can feel it. Okay. Sweet! Okay. Alright, time for some milling. Okay, so there's a little baby bullet, and then here's our bit that we're working on. Alright. Starting to get the idea, right? Let's see if there's a better shot here. The money shot. Okay, cool. I think I gotta, you see that edge there? That edge is thinner. But I think I'm gonna wait till after I weld that to thin that edge a little bit. You see the thickness difference there? So there's a little taper on that too as it comes in here. But I think I wanna leave it thick initially, and then I'll weld this stuff on and do that blending, and when I'm doing this blending here, I'll bring that diameter down so that it has that thinner look there. So anyway, looking pretty good, eh?